to Lean In Leander. I'm your host, Andrew Naudine. As we enter the new year, I thought it would be a good time to set the table, if you will, for what I think the year ahead might hold. As we've witnessed over the past decade or so, and this is my opinion, there would seem to be a description of a crisis each time we deem it necessary or worthwhile to take a minute to even notice. It's arguable now that there is a widespread erosion of social trusts and new extremes of political partisanship that will once again become the dominant subject of the day, should you bother to tune into any network news report. And the same can be said of your aggregated news feeds or social media. What's interesting about all of this to me is that with this abundance of modern life, there's a tendency to tune it out by ironically watching hours of TikTok or YouTube each day. This can't be where we land in human history, but it's hard to see that it turns out any other way right now. It can seem like something is missing, and for me, part of that equation is what's being done to address our collective challenges at a local community level. There's a number of issues that can rise to the forefront and that need to be addressed. And there's always many ways to address those issues. Some would call something a crisis and someone else would call it business as usual. But one remedy I would suggest is for more of us to understand our own role and more directly take responsibility for our part in addressing all the chaos that we see in our corner of the world. When we witness a natural disaster, whether directly or indirectly, we see what's known as a reflection of human care and concern. It's often pointed to as an example of goodness in human beings, but more often than that, we see and hear the symptoms of human minds being completely out of control. Fear and hatred and ignorance and false certainty are states of mind that can reduce any conversation into a clown show of parroted propaganda. Of course, most of us can't change the culture in any significant way. Generally, we can't change the laws and we can't change our institutions. We can, however, advocate for change and add our voices to the conversation, not so much here on social media, but by direct action locally. There are very few people who can affect things quickly at scale. However, each of us can change the tone of the way we discuss those things that impact our own community at large. I'm going into the new year with a plan to share more thoughts of our own lives and the lives of those closest to us by understanding an apparent truth. It's a podcaster by the name of Sam Harris who said this, and I quote, "We live under the curse of partial attention to the people we love and to our deeper priorities, and to the ongoing consequences of using our attention in such a superficial way that we don't notice what we don't notice." With the passage of each new year, we can renew our own appreciation of what we have in each moment, what we are doing in each moment. I have always stressed to my own children the importance of the ability to pay attention. And with this podcast, we'll attempt to do that in the coming year. Soon, we'll see the bloom known as political signage sprout up across the 39 square miles we call Leander, Texas. I look forward again to renewing the conversations with the candidates locally in our series called Vote In Leander. And, of course, I will encourage you to register to vote. I do have some apprehension that we will fall into a whole new chaotic year. It's obviously hard to predict the future, but 2024 seems a little more. And I hope that we can maintain a semblance of civility in our own conversations, not only in local politics, but as the 2024 presidential election in the U.S. is going to be something else. Even the best case, it will be something that will exasperate the divisions in our country and our local community. And we need to focus more on what we can do to make that change. There's a Texas-sized thunderstorm of lies and misinformation headed our way. I honestly don't know what to think about the state of the world, but here we'll work to shine some light on the people that are involved, at least locally. In 2024, I'm going to do more of that, and I hope you will lean in on occasion and join me. I wish you all much happiness in the new year, and look forward to seeing you again here on the next episode of Lean and Leander.